Hi there, it's Chris. I've got a fresh cup of coffee. Hope you've got one too. Right, what we're going to be doing now is doing the shoulder guard. So, that's nice. What I need to do is rough out the basic shape, and I'm going to do it basically starting with this model and this model. So hide unselected. Reason being that I want to be able to make sure, obviously, it's not coming down too far, but at the same time, it's coming down far enough. So, best place for this to be starting is going to be a plane. You wouldn't think it, but it is. So, I'm just going to drag one out. It's all the way down here at the minute. Let's bring it up and get it into roughly the right position. Okay, so up here roughly, and I'm just going to put it over the top of this, which is a shame because obviously we're going to be hiding some lovely geometry we've been working on for quite some time here. And I'm going to make it a single polygon. So here, 4, 1 by 1. Okay. Right click, the size of the thing doesn't matter because it's only a single polygon. I can make it any size I choose. So I'm going to bring it down to about there as a starting point. Probably keep the length for the moment, and let's bring it up a bit because it has to have a little bit of thickness to it. Okay, now I'm going to start just expanding it. Before I do, actually, I'm going to bring this in. There we go. And this way I'll get the curved shape that I want, and I can refine it more once I get to the turbo smooth phase. So bring it down here, and I like the idea that it's coming down more at the back to protect the shoulder, and then at the front slightly more of it's going to be visible. So bring that down to about there. Let go. Maybe like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create like interlocking shells for this. Okay, now what I'm going to do is bring this out like that, not too far, about that far. Okay, and I've now got a good place to start. Now if I go to my modelling section and swift loop, oh dear me, what fun, eh? Ooh, have another sip of coffee. There we go, swift loop. Okay, now I'm going to apply a shell to this first, and I just want to make the basic shape before I do anything. So the inner amount's going to be about 4, that's nice and thick. The outer amount's going to be about 0. Actually, sod it, I'll just keep 1. Makes no bloody difference really, does it? Convert to editable poly. Okay, that's cool. Now, what I'm going to do here is get my front viewport, just look at it, and I just like to go around my model, make sure that it's kind of working. Let's stick that there. And I'm going to go into an FFD. And maybe just do a 2 by 2 by 2. Okay. Good thing about this is that I can just start messing around with the shape pretty much straight away. See, like that. I'm going to bring that down and over. I'll bring this one up and in, like that. Now for the actual width of it, obviously I can start following the shape more of that. Actually, I'm going to right click, convert to editable poly. I'm going to change this to an FFD 3 by 3 by 3. There we go. And then by doing that I can just curve this part in like that, while keeping the kind of shape at the front more or less. I think I might turn these ones back just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I've got one basic shape which I'll collapse. Now let's bring it out again. Make sure it's a copy, not a reference. I'm going to do things to this model. I'm going to do bad things to you. Right, so I'm going to get into FFD and just use a 2x2 for the basics. That's one of the songs that people tend to put on my karaoke. It's a strange song though. Good one though. Okay. Front viewport and zoom. This will give me a lot more leeway for what I'm doing here. Just start messing around with the shape a bit more. Like that. I'll just get them to kind of overlap a bit more in my left viewport. Let's bring them in a bit. There we go. So constantly just zooming around my model, just trying to find the perfect kind of shape that I want here. And once I've got it in basics, using an FFD 2x2, I'll probably move in and use a 3x3. And I'll collapse the stack first, because I don't really see any need to go back to it again. There we go. And now I can add a little bit of bulge to this one. So open my 3x3 again. You'll notice that I'm bulging up there. Probably bulge up a little bit in the middle as well. Bring that in. Maybe bring this in as well, so it'll give it more of a taper. So I'm just trying to keep everything as... What's it? What's a cam eye? Bugger off. Right, so bring this down to here. I don't know what a cam eye is even. I'll have to have a look. Top tip, never let your children use your computer. Right. That's not bad, a little bit thick in places. Let's go to the top viewport. Right click, convert to editable poly, and again stick on another FFD. And this way we can narrow it again. So same here. Here, maybe just bring this in a little bit. Okay, perspective zoom, let's have a look at it. Not bad at all, quite pleased with that. Okay, so collapse it. Okay, and now I'm going to take these two parts here and just hide unselected, because I just need these. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to go into a swift loop, make an edge just there. From that, I can then select these polygons. Most of this I'm going to do is going to be in low poly mode, to be honest. So, okay, now I want to extrude it by local normal. Okay, and then I'm going to cancel because I want to do it by eye. There we go. Just get an edge that I want there. And then over here, I'm going to do another swift loop. And I like the idea that it's given it a kind of a hardened Praetorian kind of surface. Have some more coffee. Lovely. Right. So again, bring it up. Oop, didn't even press extrude there, and I wondered what was going on. So there we go, that's the first set of extrudes. Right, now, what I need to do is go in here and start setting swift loops. I don't need to set many, so I'm going to put one here, and one here. And the loops here and here will protect the edge. That's their job. Now, over here, here, there, and probably here if I can get a decent enough loop. Same again over here and here. Okay, now I need to harden these edges, so I'm going to harden this one, like that. Okay, so that should be all that I need in order to make these nice and smooth. Let's check it out. Yeah, that's not bad. There's a slight lumpiness just there, so if I go down to my editable poly, well, I'll show my end result. And I think what I'll do is just grab these, let's move them a little bit, there we go. Yeah, that's a bit better, much smoother. Okay, so that's just one level of open subdivision on there. Turn off isoline display, and you can see it's still not that many polygons. 2 will obviously smooth it considerably more. Why is there a wire jumble suddenly appeared? I do like wire jumble, but I wasn't using it this time. Right, convert to editable poly. That's one of Soulburn scripts by Neil Blevins. Really good if you like making like large amounts of what do you call it? Some pipes. Really, really useful. Like the sci-fi panels and stuff like that. It's massively useful. Okay, swift loop. I'm gonna put one here. And this time I'm going to do something slightly different because, you know, I may as well. So I'm going to grab here, just work my way slowly up, grabbing this at the same time. Now, do I want that shape? Actually, no, I don't. I think it'll be silly because it'll make a break from the normal one I'm using, so I'll just use an extrude. My local normal, just bring this down a little bit. And click tick. Click tick for a sick trick. Well, that sounds silly. That's funny. Right. You know what I need? I need a pocket squirrel. And occasionally you see when, like, you know, I want to change the tone of the lesson a bit, I can go and look here, here's my little buddy the pocket squirrel. Look at him there, sitting, nibbling away. Found this little fella here in my garden. Bob Ross, you are much missed by everybody else, son. Don't know who Bob Ross is, by the way. Just format your computer and go home. Go to strengthen these edges. He bought in all sorts of things. He bought in a little pocket squirrel. He bought in dog, I think it was. I can't remember what else he bought in. He used to bring in all sorts of things into the studio though. Must have been great working with Bob Ross. You know, it must have been just like working with, like, you know, the equivalent of a big fluffy mattress. Oh, it's so lovely. Right, open subdiv. 2 iterations. Just quickly turn that off, and then on again. Looks good. Okay, so those are looking good too. Unhide all for the minute. And I need, let's see, I think I'm going to use low poly bolt, that's this one, and this one. I'm not going to use the spike. Now, you may be wondering, by the way, I haven't actually talked about where the spikes went until now because I completely forgot to mention it because I've been so busy. But what happened was, I posted on 10,000 hours and someone like pointed out to me very kindly, because I'm always open for critiques, that really the spikes weren't working with the rest of the model. So I'm like, fine, I'll get rid of them. So hide unselected. So that's what I did. It wasn't like a, oh no, angry tantrum kind of thing. It was literally like, yeah, that makes sense. You're probably right. I shouldn't really do it that way. And so I didn't. Right. Now, I'm going to attach these 2 fellas together because it'll be easier having them as one. They don't flex, they don't move, they don't bounce around, so I may as well. Now what I'm going to do is just quickly unhide all, actually, because this will give me a last chance for romance, as they say. I want to just see how it fits on with the rest of the model. Right, it's a bit high. Let me just pull this down a bit. Just to make sure it's kind of fitting where it should. I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm going to FFD it a bit bigger because I can. And it'll affect both parts, so I don't need to really worry about it breaking the model or anything. Actually, I don't want to take it that way too far. Make sure that it's basically fitting in on itself. Okay, and I can see there that it's came over that part, which isn't really much use. Bring this one out. Bulge this one up a bit. Not too much, or it'll bulge too much at the back. About that much should do. Gives it a nice shape. Okay, convert to editable poly. Now you may notice there's a bit more of a gap there than I'd like, so what I can do is I can select by element now and do an FFD on that as well. Maybe just even a 2x2 should do it. And this will only affect the element. There we go. There, lovely. Now then, another interesting thing here, you see that? It's kind of pointing downwards. I think what I'm going to do is grab this one, again do an FFD, and I'm just going to grab this one here. Better. Alright, so now what I can do is select Monsignor Rivet, nose, and hide unselected. And now I can start looking at opening up my selection boxes, sorry, object tape boxes, and I'm going to get my list together. I'm going to pick Big Bolt, which is a cylinder. I'm going to pick this one, which is my tool simple rivet. And I'm only going to paint with objects in list. I'm going to paint on my selected objects. Like that. And now, obviously, you can see I can go straight on. Like that. So, best place to start is going to be here. I'm going to go up it just gently, trying to find an even amount. If I hit F4, I'll probably find it easier actually. I can just use these as guidelines. This is one of those things where having a Wacom probably makes things a little bit easier. I haven't used a Wacom in what, 14 years? Well, I have, but not for very long, if you know what I mean. It wasn't something that I wanted to use. I've never been a Wacom user. This is probably why I'm not like big on ZBrush tutorials either. Sorry, Pixologics. But yeah, I don't mind Wacoms. You know, my daughter is fantastic at using a Wacom, for example. Me, I am not fantastic at using a Wacom. I am the opposite. I don't know, maybe I just don't have the fine motor control compared to using a mouse. It used to be, I think it was until just after I finished the APU set. No, it wasn't, it was after I finished the Ultimax set actually. I never used to use a mouse either, I used to use a trackball. Because I used to get quite a lot of precision control with the trackball. But I only used to use the Microsoft ones, don't know if you remember them. And they used to get filthy, the mouse ball, like, even if your hands were really clean, you know, and I do try and keep my hands clean when I'm using the computer, you still get like a horrible build-up, and you'd have to break it open and clean it, and it was just awful. So, also they used to wear down after a while. I got through something like 4, I think, in total, in the end. It was Just a decision really, because my mother had one, and so I'd started using it, and I was kind of comfy with that. I used to do all my work, like I said, on that. It was kind of awkward for playing first-person shooters when I was kind of trying to relax and stuff. I don't know if you've tried playing with one of those, but it isn't the easiest thing in the world. Right, I click out, got a cylinder, go back to painting again. And I think what I'm going to do here is just put some big feckin' bolts just there and there. I like the idea that it's kind of got this sturdy looking bolt pattern going on here. And remember, because these things aren't really symmetrical, you know, you can place them anywhere you think they're going to work. And if you don't like them afterwards, you just delete them. You know, no one's going to mind. No one's even going to know. I won't know. Not like I can tell you off, is it? Okay, I'm not going to put anything on the top because I think the curved surface on the top is nice. Delete. Now I can attach these. I'm attaching the big ones first, and the little ones. Oh, scratch my eyeball. Oh, look at that. See, here's all the rivets that we can attach, because everything else is hidden, so what I could do is, I suppose, just... I don't think it allows me to multiple select, unfortunately, otherwise I would. Bit of a pain, really, isn't it? Remember what I said, though, it doesn't let you marquee select them, so... tough. Right. Oh, a stretch. Give a little stretch. A bend. I like to do a karaoke on a Thursday at the local bar. And it's quite funny, like some new dudes had wandered in. And they were like, oh, karaoke, I didn't know there was a karaoke. And I was like, yeah, there's karaoke on at the Turf on a Thursday. Like, oh, fantastic. I said, do you know if the karaoke's got any rock music on? I'm like, the karaoke's mostly got rock music on. They're like, really? I said, yeah. They said, oh, has it got Blink 182? And I'm like, yes, of course it's got Blink 182. They're like, oh wow, does it have Limp Bizkit? I'm like, well, yeah, it does. Oh, they're like, fantastic. They said, like, does it have Nickelback? I said, no, because it's a rock jukebox. All the Nickelback was deleted a long time ago. There we go. Good fun even that, though, to be honest. Right, so right click, unhide all. Front viewport to zoom. And then, let me see, can I bring this down a bit? No, because of that part, so I'll just keep it up there. And I can't mirror it because, sorry, I can't rotate copy it. I'll have to mirror it because, well, I'll do symmetry, because it's not symmetrical front to back. So I'll just click flip, grab my symmetry thingy, and just pull it over the top of that. There we go. In fact, I might bring it out a little bit more like that, because I think it looks quite nice. There's sod it, I'm going to have that. Convert to editable poly. Now I'm going to grab these ones, and I think I'll do the same. Just give it a bit of space just there, so that we can see the part underneath. There we are. That works. Okay. So now, if I grab this, and I'll just link it to the main carapace armour. Okay, and that is our arm overparts done. So I'm going to save this as a workbench and make up a couple of whips of it so that I can show what progress I've been making to people on the 3D Pilots Facebook page. Meantime, hope you're enjoying the set, and I shall see thee soon. Till then, ta-ta for now. Bye bye.